पलकों पे रह जाएगा यादों का जहां मंजिल नहीं है अनजान messed up records चलना अकेले है यहाँ तन्हा दिल तन्हा सफर.
Do you indulge in cooking? Do you indulge yourself in cooking?
Cooking, I heard something else.
Please, we'll cut that.
Hi, this is Mahi and you're watching me on midday.com.
Hello everyone, this is Ocean Fernandez for midday.com and joining us today in conversation is a rising star who bears a melodious voice that at least I've come across. Please welcome Maahi. Hi
Thank you for having me. Super duper excited to be speaking to Midday and Ocean today. And yeah, let's get started.
Maahi,
Ji.
you are barely 19.
Ji.
I'm sure you must have probably not had the time to think about your future just yet.
Yeah.
But still I'm gonna ask you, at what point did you know that this is something that you want to do? Singing and music is your passion?
I think at around 9 I sort of decided that I wanted to be a singer banna tha. And post that was the sort of I think a couple years of just हाँ हो जाएगा बस वो एक दो गाना गाना है और क्या चाहिए ज़िंदगी में. But I think very soon after I realized how much work it is. And that happened at about 13 and that point I started taking it seriously. 9 is when I decided कि मुझे यही करना है. 13, 12, 14 around that range is when I started training for it properly.
Awesome. So obviously you've grown around a melodious household. And what kind of influence did your dad's music have on you? And if it really influenced your craft, or was there some other inspiration out there that you were looking for?
I think obviously naturally the son takes a lot of inspiration from their father. So obviously there was a lot of inspiration from that as well. But dad has always encouraged brother and I to listen to all types of music. It never was like मेरे घर में सिर्फ मेरा गाना चलेगा. Never. Far from that. In fact, he would get embarrassed when we played his song at parties. So that's why we listened to a lot of different music growing up, and not only Bollywood. And not only Bollywood of that era. It would be obviously a lot of older stuff, a lot of new age stuff at that point, at least what was new at that point, and obviously Western music as well. So
were you one of those kids who accompanied their dads to gigs or?
No, not too often. Maybe 4 or 5 times I've sang with him on stage, but otherwise it was just learning from under. And I think the good thing is that Dad would always say that like the entire point is to not just be like an accessory to him, right? And he is always very clear about that. That you're not supposed to just be a sidekick, just and that's what he's maintained throughout. So only now, for us performing also, for me, I would want to be able to perform some of my own tracks as well, and he would also want that. So I think that's something that has been very clear growing up. And from time to time, maybe once a year or something, just for the exposure and the experience. I think less than the exposure, the experience to get on stage. He would say, come sing a song.
Aww.
So I still have a lot of good memories of Dad and I on stage.
Mahi, I want to take you back to the time when you were prepared for your first song to be out.
Ji.
Were you nervous? Were you excited?
Yeah, I was really nervous because I think I've been sort of training for this for a while now, in the sense that maybe over 2 years I've been specifically for that song, like Sorry in specific. It's a song I heard first time we started, just that ta 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 that we heard at about I think 2022, sort of mid-late, and obviously came out in 2024. So it's been around for that long, and obviously you go to sleep, you dream of this.
Yes.
So it's like for about 500 odd days I'm dreaming of the same thing, and now that is happening the next day. So it was really, really nerve-wracking, but at the same time it was just great. I was feeling more grateful than anything.
Can we have you perform a little bit?
Of course. I have my guitar also. Oh, sajna ve, sun sajna ve, aise tu mujhko thage. Oh, sajna ve, sun sajna ve, aise na mujhko thage.
Lovely.
Thank you.
I'm really,
That's
yes.
Thank you. I have put words in your mouth there, but I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. So, Mahi, because you're so young and obviously talented at a very young age, but then everyone is curious, especially all the moms out there and the dads are very curious to know, how are you managing things academically?
Got it. So basically, I'm right now on a gap year. So I'll be studying, resuming my education. I think in a month where I'll be going back to college. But yeah, basically I took this year to sort of understand, musically obviously this was probably going to be the most challenging year in the sense that I have to also figure out what my sort of space is and also understanding this. Also, I feel like I can balance it. It's academics is something that I've always, taken seriously in school. Like for me, it was always important. Okay, okay, mujhe, like I wanted to go to one of those big khatarnak colleges and all that. Maybe not anymore in terms of that far, but obviously education is something I think is very important. I think my biggest fear was being that sort of like, there's a sort of stereotype here, na? Okay, like young singer, fuddu, no brains, and just sort of meeting में ही ऐसे बैठा है गिटार के साथ फर्क नहीं पड़ता. But I never want to sort of get there, which is why I think even more than formal education as well, just keeping yourself informed.
Yes.
Tracking the news, tracking what's happening in your country, tracking everything, and I think as the youth we have that responsibility as well to stay informed. क्योंकि आजकल a lot of people just assume कि मुझे क्या फर्क पड़ता है, if ये है वो होता है ये होता है. That's not how it works. At some point we have to also be more proactive.
Mahi, when you're studying, obviously your peers know your dad is a famous singer. Do they treat you differently?
Not at all. You should see the abuse I get from my friends. Just the other day. I think the good thing is, I've been blessed in that sense. Okay, my friends are all super lads. And I think that's, the best thing. Because क्या होता है कि, जब, you make a lot of friends in the industry and stuff, there's always that थोड़ा, मतलब, obviously, it's not like I'm super goes out inside, कि मेरा आ रहा है, ये वाला, वो वाला. But my assumption is that, there's that little bit of, distance here or whatnot, because you look at each other as contemporaries or whatnot.
Contemporaries or competitors.
Exactly. I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's a nice way to look at it. I would hope not. But whatever. I'm not in that space yet. So for me, my school friends, college friends is all just masti. Just, I mean, exactly what you would expect from a 19-year-old boy.
Do you sing for every annual day?
Yes. Yeah. Even last graduation for not my graduation, my juniors ka graduation I went to sing.
It must be an easier way to loop
a
singer and save money.
Exactly, yeah. But kya hota hai na sir had said, he gave a very nice introduction and said, a guest, Mahi. But I said, arey ye senior. Everyone was expecting like a fun guest or something, and normal jalla senior.
Ghar ki murgi dal barabar.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mahi, you recently sang at Cannes. That must have been surreal.
It was crazy.
Did you have any sleepless nights?
Yeah, I did. I think, it was just the idea of going to France to sing.
Yeah, in front of so many people.
Yeah, it's like, what is going on? Like, what is happening? Yeah, it was just a surreal experience. And the entire environment, there are only artists there.
Yeah.
So that I mean, it's a lot of fun to connect in that sense, because, everyone is an artist here. Everyone's here to connect. Everyone is here to learn. Everyone's here to show their artistry. So, to get there at such an early point for me is gratitude, dream. Yes, thank God. Nice. So, yeah, I think there was a lot of gratefulness, but also at the same time, you've been given an opportunity, so you have to make good on the expectations and work hard. So, it was also thoda pressure.
I saw your mom and dad were in the audience.
Yes,
they were like, any proud parent is gonna feel like their baby's out there singing in front of the world. How was the interaction after the performance?
It was good. It was really sweet. I think everyone there was so warm. The entire festival, like everyone involved, all the dignitaries, everyone there was just so sweet and warm and receptive. But at the same time, they would also say, now you've got to take it to the next level next time.
Yeah.
Which is all the more motivating for an artist, because I think once you're content, once you're happy कि मुझे इतना ही अच्छा बनना है, then that's when the artist starts going down.
Yes.
Obviously, at this point, no one is thinking कि इतना ही. That's not even a thought. I don't think any 19-year-old has thought कि this is how good I want to be. Obviously, but I guess the challenge will start once you're a lot older. Yes. And then to stay hungry, then is the issue. Obviously, at this point, though, super hungry. I can see Dad has that literal complete mastery of whatever he wants to do with his vocal cords. Ye note marna to ye note. It's like that simple for him. And obviously I know it wasn't and he tells me, I didn't wake up like this.
Yes.
Right? And when you see that goal so close by, and this is level, it keeps you motivated to reach that level.
Does it also keep you grounded?
It does, absolutely. Grounded, because if he can reach those heights, He can sing those notes. He
Yeah.
can sing those songs. He can be who he is, and he can stay grounded.
Yeah.
Why would a singer who sang 2 songs think of leaving his feet off the ground? It doesn't make sense. Because, yeah, I think that's a great question in that sense. Because that will always keep me grounded. Because I know that if he is grounded, who am I to not be grounded?
Yes.
Right?
You know, he is someone who broke the path to independent music, and back then, Tanha Dil and Bhul were like iconic tracks. And you again started with independent music, but the scene is obviously different.
Absolutely.
At the moment. Have you noticed how different it was back then versus
100%.
now?
I think someone had asked me if it's harder back then or now. I would say it was harder back then.
Why do you think so?
Because today, to put out content, it's a lot simpler for us. Obviously, I'm blessed to have Saregama,
Yes.
sort of distributing the content and, just being there. But say, for independent of Dad and I, just 2 artists from that generation and this generation, to get onto the CD in the first place back then is ridiculous, right? Because you need someone to invest a lot.
Yes.
With. Today, someone can pull out a song on, we can mix it, master it all on our laptops, dub it with a mic, maybe, book out a studio, kuch jugaad karke, we can figure out a song. And then you can upload it and, it can work, it may not work. Obviously, there's a lot more competition in terms of content, because there's no content floating around. But to just present yourself and put yourself on the field in the first place back then was like a ridiculous feat.
Yes.
So for that is the reason why I think back then was probably harder to break out. Because, it's not as easy, if whatever we get a song that doesn't work too well today, we know that, literally if we need it in a week, wo YouTube pe ek aur gana dal sakte.
Yes.
It's not that simple back then. You have to literally print out the tapes, it's not that easy, which is why I think the stakes were so much higher back then.
Yeah.
And also, if you're looking at specifically the case study of Dad and I, obviously I will have an easier route, right? I mean, I would be stupid to say I wouldn't. I have someone who has been through this to guide me through it. He didn't have that. So in that sense also I'm blessed. Now it's up to me to, seize the opportunity and do my riyaz dhyan se and work hard.
Does that bring some kind of pressure on you?
Little bit, but
because
like
everybody considers you taking the legacy ahead and he's the future, and does that kind of put a pressure on you?
I think thoda pressure is important. I think a little bit, but positive in that sense, because the pressure isn't coming internally. It's not coming from Dad. It's not coming from Mom. It's sort of coming from yourself, because you feel like if my parents have worked this hard to put themselves in the position they have, and they've given me this platform. Now it's up to me to make good on it, right? If someone gives you a chance, some bowler is bowling a full toss, the pressure is on the batsman to hit it out for a 6.
I really like that example.
I have a full toss. I do. Now it's up to me that bat swing sahi hai.
On that note, we would like to hear the rendition of Tanha Dil.
Done? आँखों में सपने लिए कर्ज हम चल तो दिए, जाने ये राहें अब ले जाएंगी कहाँ, मिट्टी की खुशबू आए, पलकों पे आंसू लाए, पलकों पे रह जाएगा यादों का जहां, मंजिल नहीं है अंजाम, messed up the chords, चलना अकेले है यहाँ, तन्हा दिल तन्हा सफर, ढूंढे तुझे फिर क्यों नजर, तन्हा दिल तन्हा सफर, ढूंढे तुझे फिर क्यों नजर, तन्हा दिल.
So this is a quick rapid fire because we are celebrating World Music Day. Describe music in one word.
Magic.
A concert you attended recently.
कैलाश खेर जी.
Where?
जियो बोल रहे.
A singer or musician you consider your idol.
पापा जी.
A song that is currently on your playlist.
Espresso. Sabrina.
Ooh, Sabrina.
Well, unlike personality, but
That's a revelation. An international singer you want to collaborate with.
Justin Bieber, straight to the top.
A song of his that you really like.
Sorry, I heard जब भी sorry जाने का नाम है, tends to be a little nice.
Nice. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of dishes, sweet dishes, and you're going to tell me which singer reminds you of this dish.
I've seen this with Shreya ma'am.
Really?
Yeah, it's a nice game.
Mishti doi.
Shreya, man. Shreya, because the sweetness in her voice, I don't think anyone
Unmatched.
has. Yeah, the sweetness.
Kaju Katli.
I'll steal her answer for this. She said Mikka Paji. Because
Really?
enjoyed by everyone.
Rasgulla.
Roshagulla. Father.
Oh. Gulab Jamun.
Sunuji. Yeah.
And finally, Jalebi.
Arijit sir.
Oh.
Yeah, I think a lot of didn't have much time to explain it, but I think all these sweets are universally loved just as much as these singers are. So, yeah.
Lovely. And that is a wrap.
Wow, sorted.
Yes.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.